Welcome to English Roots. Learn English, live English, love English.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Are you ready to boost your English skills in a fun and engaging way? Great! In today's special lesson, we're going to spend a day with a lovely character named Sophie. By following her daily routine, you will not only improve your listening comprehension, but also pick up some fantastic new vocabulary and common expressions that native speakers use every day. This is a perfect opportunity to practice your listening and speaking. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. Our story begins in the morning. Let's listen. The first rays of sunlight streamed through Sophie's window, gently waking her up. She stretched her arms, a big yawn escaping her lips. Time to rise and shine, she murmured to herself. Her alarm clock was set for 7 a.m., but she always enjoyed waking up naturally with the sun. She slid out of her cozy bed and padded over to the window, pulling back the curtains to greet the new day. The sky was a beautiful shade of pale blue, promising a bright and sunny day ahead. Sophie loved these quiet moments before the hustle and bustle of the day began. She took a deep breath of the fresh morning air and felt a sense of calm wash over her. First things first, Sophie headed to the bathroom to freshen up. She splashed cold water on her face, a trick she learned to feel instantly awake. Then, she brushed her teeth, making sure to get every corner. After her quick morning hygiene routine, she changed into her workout clothes. Sophie believed that starting the day with some physical activity was key to having an energetic and productive day. She rolled out her yoga mat in the living room and began her morning stretches, feeling the tension release from her muscles. A healthy body, a healthy mind, she often repeated to herself like a mantra. After a refreshing 20-minute yoga session, Sophie felt invigorated and ready to tackle the day. Her stomach started to rumble, signaling that it was time for breakfast. She walked into the kitchen, her favorite room in the house. The smell of coffee beans was already in the air, as she had set her coffee maker on a timer the night before. She poured herself a hot cup of black coffee and started preparing her go-to breakfast, a bowl of oatmeal with fresh berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. It was a simple yet nutritious meal that would keep her full and focused until lunchtime. While her oatmeal cooked, she turned on the radio to listen to the morning news, staying informed about what was happening in the world. Now let's pause here and look at some of the useful vocabulary we've heard so far. Sophie's morning routine is full of great words. First, to rise and shine. This is a cheerful and informal way to say, wake up and get out of bed. You might hear parents say this to their children in the morning. For example, come on, sleepyhead, rise and shine. It's a beautiful day. Next, we heard the phrase hustle and bustle. This refers to a large amount of activity and noise, often in a busy place. For instance, I love the hustle and bustle of the city during the holidays. In the story, Sophie enjoys the quiet before the day's hustle and bustle begins. We also encounter the word invigorated. This means to feel fresh, full of energy, and healthy. The yoga session made Sophie feel invigorated. You could say, a cold shower in the morning always leaves me feeling invigorated. Another good one is go-to. Your go-to is something you can always depend on or that you choose most often. Sophie's go-to breakfast is oatmeal. You might have a go-to movie for a rainy day or a go-to restaurant for celebrating special occasions. Try to use these words and phrases this week. The more you use them, the more natural they will become. Now let's get back to Sophie's day. With breakfast finished and the dishes washed, Sophie went to her home office to start her workday. She worked as a freelance graphic designer, a job she was incredibly passionate about. Her desk was neatly organized, a large monitor, her sketchbook, a set of colorful pens, and of course, her trusty laptop. She checked her emails first, responding to urgent messages from clients. Then, she reviewed her to-do list for the day. Her main task was to design a new logo for a local bakery. She was excited about this project because it allowed her to be creative. She spent the next few hours sketching ideas, playing with different fonts and color schemes. The work was challenging but incredibly rewarding. She completely lost track of time, absorbed in her creative process. Around 1 p.m., her stomach reminded her it was time for a lunch break. Sophie believed in taking proper breaks to recharge. She decided to make a quick and healthy lunch, a large salad with grilled chicken, avocado, and a light vinaigrette dressing. Instead of eating at her desk, she took her plate to the small balcony outside her living room. She enjoyed feeling the warm sun on her skin and watching people walk by on the street below. This change of scenery helped her clear her head and step away from her work. While eating, she called her best friend Chloe to catch up. They chatted and laughed, making plans to meet up over the weekend. This brief social interaction lifted her spirits and gave her the boost she needed for the afternoon. Feeling refreshed after her break, Sophie returned to her desk. The afternoon was dedicated to finalizing the logo design. She transferred her best sketches onto her computer and began bringing them to life using design software. She experimented with different variations, paying close attention to every detail. It was crucial that the logo reflected the bakery's warm and friendly atmosphere. After a couple more hours of focused work, she had a few strong concepts ready to present to the client. She felt a great sense of accomplishment. She drafted an email, attached the design proposals, and sent it off. With her main task for the day completed, she spent the last hour of her workday organizing her files and planning her schedule for the next day. At exactly 5:30 p.m., she shut down her computer, officially ending her workday. Let's pause again for another vocabulary check. We have some more great expressions from Sophie's afternoon. First, passionate about. If you are passionate about something, you have a very strong feeling of love or enthusiasm for it. Sophie is passionate about her job. You could say, he is passionate about environmental protection. Next, lose track of time. This means you become so focused on what you're redoing that you don't notice how much time has passed. For example, I was so absorbed in the book that I completely lost track of time. We also heard the phrase catch up. This means to talk to someone you haven't seen in a while and find out what they've been doing. Sophie called her friend to catch up. You might say to a friend, let's get coffee next week and catch up. Finally, sense of accomplishment. This is the feeling of satisfaction you get when you have successfully finished something difficult. Completing the logo designs gave Sophie a sense of accomplishment. Excellent. I hope you're writing these down. Now, let's see how Sophie spends her evening. With work done for the day, Sophie's evening was all about relaxation and hobbies. She changed into comfortable clothes and decided to go for a leisurely walk in a nearby park. The late afternoon sun cast a golden glow on everything, and a gentle breeze was blowing. She put on her favorite podcast and strolled along the winding paths, enjoying the sounds of nature and the sight of children playing. This daily walk was her way of decompressing and separating her work life from her personal life. Once she returned home, she decided to indulge in one of her favorite hobbies: cooking. Tonight she was trying a new recipe for a vegetable lasagna. She put on some music and began chopping vegetables, humming along to the melody. Cooking was like a form of meditation for her. It was creative, and a delicious result was always a wonderful reward. An hour later, the lasagna was baking in the oven, filling her apartment with a mouth-watering aroma. While dinner was cooking, Sophie tidied up her living room and watered her plants. She had quite a few houseplants and took great care of them. She found that tending to them was a very peaceful activity. Soon, dinner was ready. She sat down at her dining table to enjoy the lasagna, which turned out to be absolutely delicious. She savored every bite, feeling proud of her culinary experiment. After dinner, she settled onto the sofa with a good book. She was an avid reader and loved getting lost in different worlds and stories. Reading before bed helped her to wind down and quiet her mind. Around 10 p.m., feeling sleepy, Sophie decided it was time to call it a night. She did her evening skincare routine, changed into her pajamas, and climbed into bed. Before turning off the light, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for that day in her journal. This small practice helped her to end the day on a positive note. With a contented sigh, she switched off the lamp, ready for a peaceful night's sleep and another new day. And that's a day in Sophie's life. A simple yet fulfilling day. I hope you enjoyed the story and learned some new things. Listening to stories like this is one of the best ways to get used to the natural flow of English. You can listen to this story multiple times to really master the vocabulary and pronunciation. Try retelling Sophie's routine in your own words. What is your daily routine like? Try to describe it using some of the new phrases you learned today. Thank you so much for joining me in this lesson. I had a lot of fun and I hope you did too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English learning content. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Are you ready to level up your English in a fun and natural way? In today's special lesson, we're going to spend a day with my friend Sophie. We'll follow her daily routine from the moment she wakes up until she goes to bed. This is a fantastic opportunity to improve your listening comprehension and pick up some really useful vocabulary and expressions that native speakers use every day. Think of it as a mini adventure in English. I promise this will be an engaging and effective way to practice. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. The first rays of sunlight filter through Sophie's window as her alarm clock buzzes at 7 a.m. sharp. She's what you'd call an early bird. She groans softly, reaches over to turn off the alarm, and then stretches her arms high above her head. Time to rise and shine, she murmurs to herself. She swings her legs out of bed and slips on her fluffy slippers. The first thing on her agenda is to make her bed. She believes that starting the day with a small, tidy task sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. It's a simple habit, but it makes her feel organized and ready to tackle whatever comes her way. After making her bed, Sophie heads straight to the kitchen. She's not a big coffee drinker. Instead, she prefers to start her day with a warm glass of lemon water. She believes it hydrates her and kickstarts her metabolism. While she sips her water, she gazes out the kitchen window, watching the city slowly come to life. Then, it's time for a quick and healthy breakfast. Today, it's a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries, a sprinkle of chia seeds, and a drizzle of honey. A balanced breakfast is non-negotiable for her. It provides the fuel she needs for a productive morning. She eats mindfully, savoring each bite without scrolling through her phone. Once breakfast is done, Sophie gets ready for her morning workout. She changes into her athletic wear, some comfortable leggings and a t-shirt. She isn't a fan of crowded gyms, so she has a small workout corner set up in her living room with a yoga mat and some resistance bands. Her routine usually consists of about 20 minutes of yoga to stretch her body, followed by a 15-minute high-intensity interval training, or HE, session to get her heart rate up. Exercise is her secret weapon for boosting her energy and clearing her mind. It helps her feel strong, focused, and ready to face the challenges of the day. Showered and refreshed, Sophie now needs to get ready for work. She works as a graphic designer, and her company has a business casual dress code. She opens her closet and picks out a smart blouse, a pair of tailored trousers, and comfortable loafers. She enjoys putting together outfits. For her, it's a form of creative expression. Next, she moves on to her skincare routine. It's nothing too complicated, just a simple cleanse, tone, and moisturize, followed by a generous amount of sunscreen. Never skip sunscreen, she often advises her friends. She applies some light makeup, just a bit of concealer, mascara, and a tinted lip balm for a natural, polished look. Before leaving the house, Sophie does a final check. She grabs her laptop bag, which she packed the night before to save time. Inside are her laptop, charger, notebook, and a few pens. She also packs a reusable water bottle and a healthy snack, like an apple or a handful of almonds, to avoid buying junk food later. She double-checks that she has her keys, wallet, and phone. Finally, she takes one last look in the mirror, smooths down her hair, and says, "Okay, let's do this." With a confident smile, she walks out the door, locking it behind her, and heads to the bus stop. Her workday is about to begin. Sophie's commute to work takes about 30 minutes by bus. She sees this time not as a hassle but as a valuable opportunity. She puts on her headphones and listens to an educational podcast or an audiobook. Today, she's listening to a podcast about new trends in digital art. She finds it helps her stay updated with her industry and often sparks new ideas for her projects. It's a productive way to utilize her travel time, turning a mundane part of her day into a moment for learning and personal growth. She arrives at her office building feeling inspired and ready to dive into her tasks. Her workday is a mix of focused creative work and collaborative meetings. As a graphic designer, she spends a good portion of her day in front of her computer, using design software to create visuals for websites and marketing campaigns. Around midday, she takes a proper lunch break. She usually brings her own lunch from home today. It has a quinoa salad with roasted vegetables and chicken. She eats with her colleagues in the office break room. They chat about their weekends, share funny stories, and talk about anything but work. This social interaction is a welcome pause that helps her recharge her creative batteries for the afternoon. At 5:30 p.m., Sophie clocks out. She packs up her things and begins her journey home. The bus ride back is her time to decompress. She switches from her educational podcast to some calming music or simply looks out the window, watching the world go by. Once she's home, the first thing she does is change into comfortable clothes. This simple act signals to her brain that the workday is over and it's time to relax. She might spend about 30 minutes tidying up her apartment, doing some light chores like washing the dishes from breakfast or sorting the mail. A clean space helps her feel more relaxed and at peace.
Welcome to English Roots. Learn English, live English, love English.